Hello everyone and welcome to my February favourites. So as I'm filming this, I'm currently getting over a bit of a migraine that I've had for the past couple of days, so apologies if I look a little bit weird, a little bit tired, a little bit run down in this video. That is the reality of my situation. Also, February's not really been the greatest month for me. Certainly if you watch my book haul video for this month, you will know that I have been quite stressed, quite down, quite anxious, quite sad about certain areas of my life, but I have had some really fun days and I've enjoyed quite a few things, which obviously I'm going to share with you right now in this video. So I'm going to start by simply telling you that yes, I saw Black Panther in the cinema this month and I absolutely loved it. I've not actually seen or read a sensible bad review of this film yet, and I'm not even a Marvel nerd. Like, I like the odd Marvel film, but I'm not heavily involved in that fandom. But I absolutely loved Black Panther. First of all, I thought all of the casting was completely spot on. I really loved all of the action scenes, all of the fight scenes, and there was some great use of slow-mo in there, which I really enjoyed too. There is testosterone flying all over the place in this film, as you might expect, but I really appreciated that. I loved all of the cinematography involved as well. The way they made Wakanda look was just so beautiful and so gorgeous. All of the music was great. I really appreciated Martin Freeman's American accent, which I don't think I've ever heard before, and it was quite unintentionally funny at some points too, but I really loved it. I also loved Letitia Wright as Shuri, Black Panther's sister. She was definitely my favourite character in the film. She was just so sassy and so badass. I really loved her, and all of that is not to mention the amazing things that this film is doing for black representation in superhero films right now. It is just so good, and if you somehow still haven't seen it, I cannot recommend it enough to you. It is just such a great, exciting film that you definitely need to see. The next thing I want to mention is a really silly animated series that I discovered on Netflix this month called Big Mouth, and it features a bunch of American comedians and comedy actors that I'd never really heard of before. The only two cast members I'd heard of were Maya Rudolph and Jordan Peele, and as I said, the rest of the cast I'd never heard of, but they probably are bigger names in the US. But this little series is basically about puberty and the awkwardness and the horrors that it brings with it. So it follows a bunch of preteens as they are going through puberty, and they are followed by these really scary but actually quite funny hormone monsters. They kind of follow them around and influence their behaviour and obviously what happens to them, and it is just really funny, but it's really kind of like surreal, ridiculous humour. Like, there are certain points in every single episode where it just gets really ridiculous, but I love that kind of thing, and it's just the perfect little thing to just throw on and laugh at, and it's just really light-hearted, but it's really relatable obviously to anyone who has ever been through puberty. And I'm actually learning quite a lot about male puberty that I'd never kind of really registered before, so it's really interesting actually, for kind of really getting a funny look at puberty for the opposite sex as well, which obviously you can't fully relate to, but it's a great little insight into that. So it's really funny. I think there's only one season of it so far, but if it sounds like your kind of thing, definitely check it out and give it a watch. By complete contrast, I also want to mention another TV show that I've discovered this month called Channel Zero, and this is the first season, called Cove. I believe this was originally aired on the TV channel Sci-Fi in 2016, so a couple of years ago now. I think there may actually be at least one, possibly two other seasons of this, but I think it's kind of like an American Horror Story situation where each season follows a different story arc. I was sent this by my friend Charlie at Duvet Day Devours, whose channel I will leave a link to in the description down below. She knew that I would really enjoy this, so she sent me this DVD of the first season, and she was right. I've been addicted to this since I first started watching it. It's just 6 half-an-hour episodes, but they are just so so good, they really are. So in this we are following a child psychologist who has always had suspicions that this TV show that he used to watch when he was a kid in the 80s is behind a series of nightmarish events that happened when he was a kid, including the disappearance of his twin brother. And now he has come back to his hometown to kind of like investigate this a little bit. It seems that this TV show is somehow back on air, and these scary, terrible things are happening again to the children of this small town. It is just so creepy. It's really, really weird. I believe this is based on a creepypasta story. If you know what creepypastas are, Google it if you haven't, and you'll find a bunch of really, really creepy, weird stories. But I believe this was based on a creepypasta story, and I think the other series of Channel Zero are based on different creepypastas. I may be wrong about that, but I think they are. But it is just so creepy, really, really violent, and just so mysterious, but so addictive. If you just really, really want to find out exactly what's going on here, definitely check it out if it's your kind of thing. Really, really atmospheric, really eerie, and just really, really strange. So yeah, that is Channel Zero. The next thing I want to mention is these little chocolate coated vanilla flavoured marshmallow things that I found, and I was actually just looking in the supermarket actually before I went to see Black Panther for obviously cinema snacks, and I normally get like a bag of either Magic Stars or Milky Bar buttons. They are normally my cinema snack of choice, but I just thought I would give these a go. They are vanilla flavoured marshmallows coated in chocolate by a brand called Mallow and Marsh, and they have two other flavours as well. There is a raspberry one and there is a coconut one, and they're all, like, as I said, marshmallows with those flavours coated in milk chocolate, and I was really, really surprised by how much they actually filled me up. This little bag of 100 grams is actually just over 400 calories, which is slightly less than my normal cinema snacks of choice. And obviously I'm trying to watch what I eat at the moment. I want to kind of start looking after my body a little bit better, so I thought I'd give these a go, and I wasn't expecting to feel as full up as I was after eating them, because I always think that marshmallows are kind of like light and airy, and I don't expect them to fill me up, but these really, really did, and they were so delicious. So yeah, if you like your marshmallows and you are looking for a great filling, kind of healthy-ish cinema snack, or just obviously a snack in general, then yeah, have a look for these in your local supermarket. The next thing I want to mention is actually a present that my mum got me this month, and that is this Harry Potter storage jar thing, obviously in the shape of a cauldron. I don't know if it's advertised as a cookie jar. It might be, but that's what I'm going to use it for. But I guess you could just use it for storage. But I love biscuits. Like, biscuits are my thing. I absolutely love biscuits. Most varieties of biscuits I will absolutely love. So that's what I'm planning on putting in my little cauldron. But it's absolutely huge. It's quite heavy. You can get loads and loads in it. I don't know how much you paid for it, but this is actually a recently released item of Harry Potter merchandise, so it is quite new. So have a look around on the internet for it. I think she might have got it from merchoid.com, which I will leave a link to in the description down below. That's the same website where I got my Wonder Woman Christmas jumper, which I know I mentioned in my December favourites video. So yeah, have a look on there for it. It's just a really, really lovely little cauldron that, as I said, you can use to store literally anything, but I'm fully planning on using it as a little biscuit tin. So yeah, really, really loved this. And the last thing I want to mention is actually a place down in Ashford, Kent, obviously in southeast England, called the Big Cat Sanctuary. And my Christmas present from my parents this year was a overnight stay at the Big Cat Sanctuary with a friend of mine, and we went on Sunday, last Sunday just gone, and we stayed there over the Sunday night, and then we had Monday morning there as well. It is just the most magical place for people who love big cats. They've got lions, they've got tigers, they've got leopards, they've got cheetahs, they've got snow leopards. They've also got some little cats like Palace's cats and rusty spotted cats there as well. And we had two great tours by the wonderful, wonderful staff there of the whole sanctuary. We hand-fed a few of the cats as well. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful little experience. I don't know how often they're open, because although they are technically a zoo, like they have like a zoo's license, they're not a conventional zoo. They're not like open to the public all of the time. I will leave a link to their website in the description down below so you can see when their next open date is, but it is just cats that they have. As I said, they have all of the big cats, lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars, cheetahs, snow leopards, and they also have servals and, as I said, rusty spotted cats, clouded leopards, those sorts of things. But they are just so beautiful, and as I said, all of the staff was so lovely. And yeah, so check that out if you're ever obviously in the area, or if you ever want to come to the UK and do something a little bit different, then I cannot recommend that place enough. I did put some of my pictures on my Instagram, so I will leave a link to that Instagram post where you can obviously have a scroll through some of the cats that I met there. But it's just such a lovely experience, so yeah, cannot recommend that enough. And that is it for my February favourites. What have you really enjoyed this month? Please let me know. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.